This is Gaming and Football A47, and this is my next video in the top 10 series for video games, and it's Call of Duty. Now I'll be talking about Call of Duty for up until Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. So I won't be doing the first three because those games, I haven't really got much experience with them. And also my friend Jack will be doing a video with me again. So you'll have his great editing to look forward to. But yeah, he doesn't have much experience either with the first three games. So we just thought we'd start with COD 4. And also it's the game which made the series really very, very popular. So it makes sense to start with it.
Ready up.
Now, it was released in 2007 by Infinity Ward. The campaign is very memorable with some great characters, great missions, especially the ghillie suit missions, the stealthing through Chernobyl. Those are flashback missions, but they're so great. And they also showcase the main villain in the modern day story being shot in a certain mission. So that was quite cool. Obviously shot, but not dead, because he's still, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that covers the great campaign, one of the best in the series. For most people it is the best, but for me I'd say second or third. The multiplayer is basic but very fun. The maps are really very well structured, and for its time, pretty good graphically as well. It's just basic but fun gameplay, and that's what made the franchise very popular. And yeah, that covers COD 4 really. Very, very good, but probably not enough features in the game other than multiplayer and the campaign. So that's probably its main downfall. Anyway, next is Call of Duty 5, COD, or known as COD World War, which was released in 2008 by Treyarch. I view COD World War as a good Call of Duty, but it's kind of like COD 4, but just not as good. That's how I view it. Obviously, the addition of Zombies mode was a very interesting and impressive addition to the series. Albeit the first map is very basic, it's still quite fun. The DLC maps, especially the last one, Doris, which is actually my favourite map in the history of Zombies, are very good. Multiplayer, again, the map's not quite as good as COD 4, but the style is similar, but just not as fun. And the campaign, again, it's decent, but not that great. That pretty much sums up COD 5. A good game, but not as good as COD 4.
Released 2 years after Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 took an already established action movie-esque formula and amplified it up to 11. The missions were as iconic as ever, with an extreme angle, with basically full-on explosions, full-on ridiculous nature of the missions, and iconic moments and infamous moments such as No Russian, Cliffhanger, bringing in a snowy location and climbing and skiing downhill, and the intensity being up to 11 with the Hornet's Nest, and brilliant infiltration missions such as The Only Easy Day Was Yesterday, where you have to infiltrate the oil rig and rescue hostages. There's so many iconic missions in this. Yes, it lacked the subtlety and kind of more even kind of focus on war itself that the ending of the fourth one had with the nuclear bomb going off. But as a pure-on action adrenaline experience, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 takes a lot to be topped. And it still holds up today, really. I recently played the remastered version of the game, and in next-gen graphics, it looks excellent. Obviously, though, what people wanted from that was the multiplayer. The multiplayer was also amplified with a ton of new maps, iconic maps now, such as Rust, Terminal, Favela, High Rise, so many to go through. Every map on Modern Warfare 2 was memorable. And they also brought in Spec Ops as well, which is an interesting side quest to the already excellent campaign.
This is it! Go, go, go!
Released in 2010, Call of Duty Black Ops took the darker and grittier approach to the formula that World at War had done with Treyarch's previous outing, and also amplified it up to 11. Set in the 1960s during the Cold War, the story followed Alex Mason as he attempted to recall certain memories in combat in order to locate a numbers station. This also led to many memorable missions and characters throughout, but honestly, as good as the story is on this, what I love about this the most is the zombies. Introduced in World War, but fully cemented here as just a brilliant staple to the series. Bringing back the maps that were seen in World at War and remastering them and updating them for 2 years later, and bringing in some amazing original maps such as Kino de Toten and the very unique Moon, plus the downloadable maps as well that were added on after. Black Ops is just such an excellent game, and I was really happy when they remastered the zombies for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Unfortunately, when it came to the multiplayer, I didn't actually play much of Black Ops 1's multiplayer. I really got with the Black Ops series in Black Ops 2, which Dan, I believe, will be talking about. However, this is still an excellent game, and just for the zombies alone, it's still worth playing.
I'll be covering Modern Warfare 3 next. So that was released in 2011 by Infinity Ward, and it was a very highly anticipated game because of the success of Modern Warfare 2, 2009. But it was good in areas. You know, the campaign was my favourite personally. I thought it was very exciting and just generally enjoyable to play. The multiplayer was, to be honest, it was boring, really. Maps were dull to look at. There wasn't really much innovation. It was just lacking of any creativity. To be fair, at least they thought of ideas for like the specialists and support system instead of just the standard kill streaks. I'll give them that. The specialist was quite fun to do, but again, not great. So the only other thing to focus on Modern Warfare 3 is the Spec Ops. So the Spec Ops missions were pretty good. I'd say Modern Warfare 2 had better actual Spec Op missions, but the Spec Ops survival mode was the major new thing to the Call of Duty franchise that was in Modern Warfare 3. And I thought it was pretty good. I think it was a bit underrated. You know, you got waves of enemies. There's there are different strategies you can do to be successful to survive these waves. You can always focus on getting body armor. That's what I did to make sure that I was in pristine condition to face them, making it seem like I was actually there. No, you know, obviously from a game point of view, I would make sure that I had C4s or body armor and LMGs if possible, that sort of thing. But yeah, I thought it was fun. Obviously not as good as zombies, but pretty close. Especially the chaos mode. If you had the DLC, that was actually really fun. I thought that was very good. Next is my favourite Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, released in 2012 by Treyarch. I just think it was just a solid, all-round fun Call of Duty. The campaign was one of the best, definitely one of the top 4, maybe third. The multiplayer was really good. The maps, the consistency of enjoyability from the maps was just superb. The only problem was sometimes the inconsistencies. Little things like being overpowered. It was good they had the Crater Class 10 system, but it just you could easily exploit aspects of the game to make yourself really fast or have really powerful weapons. And I don't know, it was fun. It was still fun even with these problems. That's why I just rate it as one of the best multiplayers as well, probably in the top 3. And then the zombies experience again. It kind of, Black Ops 2 was just fun, but it kind of doesn't make sense how it was so good, because the zombies maps weren't actually that amazing. There were a few pretty good ones, but mostly it was just decent maps, not as good as Black Ops 1. But again, the things that for me put it ahead were the fact that you could choose the difficulty if you want. I mean, barely anyone did that, but it's a good feature nonetheless. You could start at the different round, whatever round you wanted in certain ones. So you can, within reason, you could start at round 5, round 10, round 15, round 20, and it just gets away the tediousness of some of zombies, where you just, the first 3-4 rounds are just tedious. You're waiting for the zombies to come in and kill them and build up your points, and sometimes you make mistakes and then you have to start again. I liked just starting at like round 10, round 15, round 20. It just speeds things up and just gets it fun and just gets you experience for when you're trying to go do well on the leaderboards and, try and be a nerd, which is what I did back in the day. I mean, the leaderboards are there for a reason. Why not have fun with them? Also, I think that covers Black Ops 2. I think that pretty much covers it. Lots of content, good quality, lots of fun. For me, best Call of Duty.